sorry about that, folks. I ran out of tape there. What I want to do is show you here, what I was showing you here at the end was the fact that when you have those reference lines, you know exactly where you need to cut more. Okay, you see how we have those reference lines? And you can really eye it up much better, okay, by having the reference lines up. Now, I don't have that all the way through the stem, and maybe I should, just to give us an idea where the middle is. Alright, let's take this up a little further and extend that out a little bit further. Then we have a real good idea where things are. Alright, and like I said, we're going to do the top here. So now I'm turning it around and holding it with this hand, and I'm going to use the pivot motion again with my thumb, and I'm just going to round this off up at the top. I'm going to go into that stem just a little bit. See how I just went the other way? I went up and then I came back down this way. Okay? Alright, so we're going to try to do this I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can. Not saying you folks have to do it quickly. I'm just doing it for time wise. And I'm going to do this other one. Sometimes parts of the wood is a little tougher than others. I notice on this side it's a little tougher than the other side. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to flip this around just for a second here. You can also do it down this way like this if you want. You know. Now, folks, you'll need the carver's glove on, especially if you're new to this, because you're going to do a lot of poking and a lot of, with this, you're going to end up putting there's a lot to put the lines on, so make sure you have a good pencil with a good eraser on it. A good pencil that's a good marking pencil. All pencils are not equal. I find that this one is my best one. These cheapy ones that I get at Walmart, they're okay, but you want something that really will mark well, because you're going to be handling it quite a bit, and you don't want it to come off as you're handling it. But again, you need your carver's glove on, because when we go to stick this, stick our blade in there to get it kind of deep up here at the corner, you want to be careful with how you handle your knife, and you want to make sure you have your safety equipment on. Alright, so you can rest it against the table like I have it right now, which makes it a little bit easier. Alright, I'm going to turn this over to this side. Alright, there's a little knot there, but I'm not going to worry about that. Usually the wood I get doesn't have this, but this just happened to be there, and that's not going to be a big deal with this project. That will be covered up with paint anyway, because this is going to be the white snow on the top when we get it done. So I'm going to do that little corner. I'm going to do each of those little corners as you see there, just like that. Yep, just like that. Go down, sweep it down one side, turn it around, go the other way until they meet. Yep, just like that. Alright, so we've got most of that taken off. Now, what I'm going to do is go up here, and I'm going to just try to, remember I'm going to flip this back around. Remember before I said to use a slicing motion sometimes when you cut. You may want to do that here. See how I'm sliding it across because I'm trying to get that turn? That works pretty well sometimes, and I've been using that because I want it to be smooth up in there. Alright? See how I'm now, sometimes if your knife is sharp enough, you can just go straight across. You can try that. But I like using that slicing motion, especially in tight corners, and if it's a little thicker blade than what I have here, it works really well. So I'm just going to start slicing that out. I'm going to try to round this off. This whole stem from the other one too, you know. So when you start on the next project, you can do two at once if you want. I would recommend that you try the one first and see how it works out. And if you make a mistake, you can correct it on your second one. I'm just doing this so that the stem is the same size. Now I'm going to dig it out a little deeper here at the base. Okay, right there. And like I said, that knot's not gonna hurt us any. Sometimes you can work around wood and some of its problems. Okay, so I'm gonna go back while I'm offline here for a little while. I'm gonna try to get a lot of the roundedness. See, it still looks a little blocky to me, so I'm gonna trim it off all the way around yet until it meets that line. I did it really quickly to show you how to do this. See how I'm going back over this and then. Alright, and the same thing here. I'm going to have to go back and chop some of this off and really round it up pretty nice. Because if you look at this one, see how round it is? Alright, I know it's kind of messy there, and I haven't finished the bottom yet. That's one thing I did a little differently on mine than what Rick has on his. He has a little star on the bottom. You can do it his way if you'd like. I'm going to do it once we get past a point where we're not with the pattern. You put each one individually on and you just layer them, and I'll show you how I did that. Okay, that gives it, I think that gives it a little more realistic look to a real pine cone. A friend of mine gave me some of her pine cones off her yard that keep falling, and some beautiful stuff, and I really had to study that, and I looked at that, and it's really a cool project. So anyhow, go ahead and round this up really nicely. You know, get your stem up, get your stem done, get this all nicely rounded, and when we come back, we're going to start putting on the pattern, and it takes a little time to do that. It definitely is some work to take care of that. So we'll be back in a little bit. Bye-bye.